all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah is coming this evening with a video, and the title, Many Won't Receive Understanding. I want to say to you, there are so many people in the world today that have not and shall not receive understanding. 99.9 have no idea what understanding is, what understanding was, what understanding shall be in the days to come. I can't and I won't explain why, when it's said in all of our get understanding. So, what is this thing about understanding that one needs to get? In all of our getting, that means from the time you're born to the time you leave out of here. In all of your getting, he didn't say get money, wealth, materialistic things, a new car every year, a new house, a new of nothing. He said get understanding. And you know how one could really teach that is to line up understanding with wisdom. Line it up with knowledge. What is it about wisdom and knowledge? We have wisdom in the spirit. We have wisdom in the flesh. We have knowledge in the spirit. We have knowledge in the flesh. But when it comes down to understanding, you have understanding in your flesh, okay? But the understanding that he's speaking of is the understanding that rests in you, which is he. Mm-hmm. That's why he said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because understanding is he who has all understanding. He has it all understanding. And his understanding weighs greatly and heavy, 100% than the understanding in your flesh. Because we tend to understand wrong. Even though we turn around, we are called wrong right. You see? The understanding we have in the flesh ain't worth the dime. It comes with us, it's going to die with us. It has no weight. But the understanding in the spirit, where the spirit of he that is all understanding come to live in you. So when he's teaching you under all understanding, which is himself. So you can say you've been in the church 100 years. You can say you've been saved 1,000,000 years. You can say I'm full of the Holy Spirit. You can say anything out of your mouth, out of your flesh. But the truth be told, understanding is the spirit of the Most High Yah. And he only comes to reside within you, in your spirit. And he set up in your spirit to give you all understanding. That's what you need to get. He didn't say in all you're getting, get wisdom. He didn't say in all you're getting, get knowledge. He said in all you're getting, get understanding. And Sister Deborah's message is, many won't receive understanding. Because understanding will not receive you. You see? I know there's those out there really believe everybody gonna get and have it, And that's why they don't want to teach it in the proper contents under spirit and truth with the light. They want you to believe that it's everybody is subject to have truth. I mean, not truth, understanding. They want to make sure they tap in trying to make the lie the truth. But the truth be told, and that's what we are to speak bold about. This boldness is connected to truth, y'all. This boldness is connected to righteousness. Where a sick mind would detach boldness and to unrighteous or wicked and evil is a sick mind. Because boldness is coming to speak bold in righteousness. That's what the boldness is supporting in the end days, righteousness. Now, I want to share with you all when I was washing dishes, and y'all, it's a lot of real sad things that the Father has given me regarding my family. And just imagine I got to swallow it. When I say swallow, I already received it. Now I got to really, really swallow the fact that it is what he says it's going to be. Yeah, you care about your family, and you really don't want nothing to happen to them. You want them safe. But when that spirit, that same one that comes to live in you and give you all understanding, sits with you, deal with you in the water and break things down, let me tell you, he's subject to give you something that you ain't even ready to receive, but you have to receive it because he's giving it to you in the place within you. That means it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So I'm grateful for it. But you know what, y'all? He gave me some other information. He gave me something. I believe the reason why he gave me this is because I believe he told me this earlier today because I thought about it. And I'm talking about around about 4 this evening when I was in the car. I thought about it. It's like, and then when he gave it to me when I was washing dishes, he brought it up and made it clear. The Father would allow me to say unto you, we're in a country that the main biggest liar on the earth. Now it's all over. Don't get me wrong. But this country is known to be the number one liar. So if you're here, believe it or not, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but a lot of people become what this world is. This country, this United States. They've been here so long, they begin to think like this country. They begin to act like this country. They begin to feel like this country. All of their functions begin to mimic what this country is. And you can't tell them nothing. Even if they hate the country, they still mimic it. But Father gave me something in the water. He said, Deborah, they have mentioned to the people over and over and over about what death this country is in. Now they speak of $1 trillion death that this country is in. The Father told me just as clear with a quiet voice, that country ain't in no death. They ain't never been. He said, it's a lie. It's just a big one. That's what he said. It's a lie. It's just a big lie. Did that help me while I was washing dishes? No, it didn't. It made me even more sorry within. Because that's just one of the big lies. There's hundreds of big lies this country have and shall always apply on the people here. Because the people here is the apple that's not too far from the tree itself, the United States of America. That's why I sit back and I behold people and watch people conduct themselves in the same manner in which this country conduct itself. I'm serious, y'all. I'm serious. And I'm not talking about a certain race of people. I'm talking about all race. They love them some United Snakes of America ways. They begin to mimic the ways of this country. Do you know the hate in their hearts is a form of mimicking the country they have been in? That it is a learned behavior that's now and forever will be a behavior within. People actually, and you would think people would say, well, I don't hate, we don't hate, use a lie from the pit of hell. It's so rooted in you, even the kingdom can come down and tell you, sit your tail down and stop lying. It's so rooted. It's people hate and don't understand the capacity of hate that they hold within. Hate is hate. It has nothing to do with just race. It's just hate. People come here and have no idea. They preach, they teach, they minister, and don't even understand. You're holding hate. And that's why you have not defeated every issue in your living. You have not been able to defeat it because there's a level of hate in you. Hate for you yourself, first and foremost. Hate for when you went to school, when you was a little baby, when you was a teenager, when you was a young adult, when you was this and when you was that. Just hate to where you at now. You carrying hate, calling it righteous, calling it good. It's a sad thing. And it's not just hate, envy, same thing. Pride, jealousy. People with pride tends to have a heavy level of pride because it comes with their hate. That's how they are able to store hate in their hearts for so long, because they use a form of pride. And they can easily tell anybody they have pride. But the pride is within them that's hiding their hate. A lot of people have that. And you know what else is found in them? Greed. Greed. And don't even understand. You come in, nothing, you're going to leave out here with nothing. So what are your greed sending you to hell for? Why is your pride and your greed sending you to hell? To the lake of fire? Because it ain't going to enter into the kingdom. I know people keep telling you going to the promised land. Oh, the rapture going to take place, and I know I'm going to the kingdom. I got my ticket. I see, look what it looked like. And have not a lick of nothing that represents spirit and truth, nor the light within. So the Father was telling me in the water that $1 trillion death that this country has lied to the people. He said, Deborah, it's a lie. Always been. And at that moment, I was so sad. I wasn't sad because they lied about the $1 trillion, because I know they lied about everything. Everything. So therefore, it was just sad that this whole country is so deceived by the deceiver that's looking them dead in their eyes, deceiving them at the same time, making them think we on this on side, we white, we right. We gonna make everybody else look wrong. We white, we right. And at the same time, he's stabbing you as well, even if you are white. A lot of Europeans had no idea of the true history. 99.9% of Black people don't know nothing about history, not even their own. If you really knew the truth about it, the first slaves that was among these wealthy Europeans were white Europeans, poor white people. They had them as slaves. once they brought Judah over, they allowed these slaves that they had to keep the upkeep and to keep them in control. They gave the poor whites the ability to be masters over Judah when they brought them in. You see? But they were just poor white Europeans as well that used to be slaves themselves. You see? To understand from the Holy Spirit, from the kingdom, I'm just going to say from the kingdom, there is no such thing as $1 trillion debt. I'm glad he shared that with me, because that was like putting the cap on the jar. I'm already at that level where I don't believe nothing that is said here in this country. That there put the cap on the jar for me. And I give Yah all praise and glory and honor. Oh, he's that excellent one. He's that perfect one. He's that all-knowing one. That merciful one. I'm so grateful for him. For him sharing that with me, because he sure helped me to put a cap of the top on that jar. I tighten that bad boy. But it also helped me. It don't hurt me, y'all. It helped me to see how darkness has nothing on what is before us. It's like the Father said to me yesterday. It's worse than darkness. That's bad, y'all. Because you got all these people living and really think they got everything going on. And they prepared so much and still preparing because they think they're going to outbeat the country itself. You can't take it with you. Even throughout these hard times that's before us. They before us, and you can act as if you can't see none of it. It don't matter. It's going to hit all of us. And I don't have no problem saying that. I'm grateful that the Father has allowed me to see it and see it as it's already hitting me. So I'm all with it. I'm with whatever the Father is willing to reveal to me. I ain't finna buckle up and buckle down. I'm going to respect the fact that thank you for just taking out that time to give me the head up. Because 99.9 in this country wouldn't even believe that this country is not in $1 trillion debt. The Father said that they're not in no debt. This is how they're going to take this country out from the inside. They got to keep pouring in the lies and the deceptions that's so clearly seen. Who's clearly seeing this stuff, Deborah? All and everybody. The Father said, ain't nothing hidden. It's clearly seen. And it's because of your heart. You got a hardened heart and your mind. You can't seem to get or have any light. Nothing in the spirit realm in your mind. So he lets you have what the world has for you. Since you seem to embrace more what they have, and you seem to like what they say, and you seem to be content with Donald Trump and all of these people who's trapping you all and You can't even see that the trap has been set for you. But what's good about that? Yah shall always have those who he has allowed to know truth. Everybody have truth. But to recognize truth, to speak on it, to walk in it, to live in it, to believe it, because belief is in you, to have faith in it, because faith is in you, is a blessing inside of a blessing inside of a blessing through infinity. Because people reject any truth that pours out in such a midnight hour. They reject any and everything somebody say. In this country, and I told you all, it's going on 4 years. I've been telling y'all, the country cannot come down from the outside. The United States cannot fall from the outside. How many people have already seen all the movies and all the books that shows you in New York the Statue of Liberty is on the ground in the water? So many people have told me they've seen that already. For years, you can hear people, I don't know if y'all heard them, I have, saying they seen the Statue of Liberty down in the water. You know where all that's come from? It's showing you that it's going to fall. This country is going to fall from within. They even setting everybody up in the country to think that the issues is with everyone outside the country. And this country loves it. They love for this country to give them the feedback on all the issues in everybody in every country, so they don't have to focus on what's really going on here. The people have become numb to seeing any pen, needle, or light. They find pleasure in seeing darkness on darkness. They don't even want a pen, needle, or light. So they don't understand that the Creator himself have gave them a deal that they truly are entitled to. They're tearing the people down from within, and the people running around trying to find somebody else that they can battle with. Sit your tails down. You ain't nobody. Too many issues going on in the world, and you want to battle with the only light Yah set before you. You see how sick and stupid one has lived all these years to be as stupid as they are today, like they were yesterday. If I had anything yesterday, I would want to be better today, y'all. I would want to enhance today for myself, not be just as hateful and evil and wicked as I was when I was a little girl coming on up. Here I am, hitting an old woman, and still as wicked as I was when I was a little girl. Something you would think have to change. You can't keep being like that, but yes, you can. If you are born of the flesh, calling yourself born of the spirit, this is why you keep stumbling in this lifestyle. And the same issue. It ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing different. It's just going around in circles because you find pleasure in trying to justify and clarify the circle that you're running in, instead of getting away from the circle and not have no dealings if you are in the light, if you truly know spirit and truth. But no, you get on that circle and nobody can get you off. Because no matter where you go, you're doing the same circling. Many won't receive understanding because understanding don't want to receive you. So if you want to go to pages where people are actually telling you, oh yes, you got it, you got understanding, you got wisdom, you got knowledge, oh, you full of the Holy Spirit, and you this, and that's what people want to hear. So keep your pages up. Keep yourself invested in giving people what they want to hear. We in such a time that was prophesied worse than any other time. It ain't about trying to outbe somebody or mad because somebody else doing something that makes your hate come out. See, that hate never left you. That's why that Holy Spirit can't be in you. It's been in you for that hate been in you for so long. This is why people cannot and will not receive understanding, no matter what. You can go into your study guide and find a lot of people that was walking one way with Yah, or was walking one way, so they say they were with Yah, and end up on the dark side. Because what? They never were walking with him. They convinced themselves that they are all that and some. They convinced themselves. They kept telling themselves, but they kept repeating the same wicked act since they was a little girl, since they was a little boy. Just the same thing over and over. Here they is, a grown, old adult, and still repeating the same cycles. Don't even have a change of mind about nothing. Still taking the things that you took way when you was a young person. You still dealing with it today. Why? Because you still in that level of hate. Can't shake it. And it ain't gonna shake you. I suggest people who wants to portray who they are, stay off these devil platforms. That's the first thing. Because all you doing is acting a fool. And try to get some repentance in your spirit, not in your mouth, in your spirit, and in hope that y'all can hear that. Because he knows that this has been going on, and it shouldn't be going on in the midnight hour. Because he says it's worse than the midnight hour, but it shouldn't be going on now. If you've been dealing with you since you was young, why are you still dealing with the same trash in your heart? It ain't nobody else's fault. It's in your heart. This is why people will not receive the spiritual understanding. And they still battling with stuff they didn't deal with since they was young. Because there's something keeping them from moving further and moving on. And it's hate in their hearts. So I want to say to you all, me telling you about the $1 trillion debt is not true. Said the Most High Yah. Said the Most High Yah. Another thing he also explained to me, he said, flesh is always putting up flesh. And this is where a lot of chaos come from. People always want to put people up high on pedestals just so they can try to tear them down after they done put them up. You see, that's another sick situation there. You go to these, you see these pastors and these bishops and these popes and these priests. You see them up high. The moment it come out what's going on, everybody want to reveal what they've been doing for years. Who put them up there anyway? Yah didn't call them. He didn't appoint them or anoint them. Who put them up there anyway? Flesh of men and women. He was explaining to me that's something wrong that should have been addressed years ago. But because of the serpent seeds, is so many of them, it never was addressed, Deborah. The pastor would have 1,000 members, and the members put him on high. People on a YouTube, people sitting lying to them day and night, but they put him on high. People got 2,000 and 3,000, 300,000 subscribers. Why? Because the people putting them on high. People put people on high. So is it the people that's putting them on high that's the problem? No, is it the pastor that is the problem, or the people the problem that's putting them on high? That shows you both of them are sick. They sick in the spirit. Because y'all ain't told nobody to put nobody high. And then he turned around and let you know we all have sinned and come short. We all hold iniquity. David said he even got wicked. But yet you wants to put all them on high. See? The people put them on high. And the moment they don't or say something that they displeased with, they tried to bring them down low. You were the one to put them high. They didn't say they was up high. They didn't say that, hey, they say that they're a pastor. They say that they're a bishop. Just because they say that they're a pastor and bishop, and you went and took them and elevated them, that shows you how sick you are. And this is how they get caught up in the demonic, the wicked, the sexual scam, the messing with little boys, the messing with men. This is how these leaders, these pastors, all of them get caught up in. Why? Because the congregation didn't put them too high. Didn't put them too high. With me, I don't trust myself to be high in nothing but the Holy Spirit that's in me. If he ain't the highest, and everybody know that he is the highest, don't ever think that you're supposed to put human beings up high. The danger of it also is the same one that's trying to put you up high. They would also come behind you to try to bring you down low. You see? As if you putting yourself up high. As if you didn't raise yourself up high. Somebody like me, I can't be up high, honey. I'm study losing. Flesh, the ways of the world. I'm losing out on all that darkness y'all in. I'm not in that. So I can't go up high. I have to, I'm where only he has me. And it ain't high. How can he be greater in me than anything in the world if I'm so high? How did all of them get so high? Because they don't have him greater in them. See, when Yah is greater in you than anything in the world, he's the highest. That's how you are kept low. That's how you are kept humble. So how is it you can put yourself up, your own self up on high, when that Holy Spirit in you is higher than all that ever was, that ever is, or shall be? So how can a person be so high with the Ruach is in them, keeping them humble and low? make it make sense. You can't, because it don't make sense. The only way a person gets up high is because those that on the outside would bring them up in themselves as something and high. Some would do it just so they can pick out a time, an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, till they can have something to use to try to bring them low. Oh, Deborah, where did you come with that one from? I don't know, Father. Because that's the truth. We'll try to bring you up just to bring you down. So they think. But what happens? They fall down. Why do they fall down? Because I ain't never been high. How about that? It's only high in your mentality, in your thoughts, in your ways. So I can't be high because you see me to be high. But you see me to be high because you get pleasure in everywhere you go. And anybody you communicate with, you become their enemy because you placed them one place just to try to bring them down in another place and say, yeah, son, you. Don't ever, people, put flesh and blood higher than nothing but this ground and that dirt they end up in. Okay? We all down here given the opportunity to learn the light, to find pleasure in the light of Yah, to be about his business, to do his will. You see, it is not about what all these platforms is about, chasing their tails so they can get a check at the end of the month, trying to get all the likes and subscribers. And then I'm sitting here saying, I cannot believe these people telling lies intentionally. And then something say, but Deborah, they want that check at the end of the month. They need those subscribers and those likes. They need those shares. They need it all to keep up with their lifestyle. You see? Those are people who don't have the light, nor spirit and truth. They can afford to do that. But we that serve a most high Yah, knowing that he is the what? The most high Yah. So how can you be high? If he is the most high Yah living in you, tell me, how high can you get having that high spirit in you? You can't get high. So that's why Sister Deborah can't get a lot of subscribers. She can't get a lot of likes. She can't get a lot of praise. She can't get a lot of support. She can't get it because I already got it. And that's the Father who owns it all. The rich of the rich. That's worth more than silver and gold. I already have it. So I don't need to get high. I don't need to put myself up. I don't need to try to climb up nowhere to get more subscribers and likes, more looks, more support. I don't. I need to get only what the Father has for me to get. And if it's nothing, it's nothing. If it's something, it's something. Why do you say it like that, Deborah? Because he owns everything. He has the true silver, that which is worth more than silver and gold. What he has is worth more than silver and gold. So keeping that in mind, keep you humbled and know your place in Yah and know him in you, where he reside in you. 99.9 don't even have the Holy Spirit in them. All they have is their mouth saying they got it. And that's a sad place to have the Holy Spirit. Because you say your mouth said, but your heart has the hate of the flesh, reigning all up in your spirit. But you have the Holy Spirit. So it's a thing about something that's so wrong, he said, where people have placed people so above, so high, till they can't even discern, they can't even tell, they can't even understand or comprehend. They're high in the flesh. They're not high in the spirit. For he is the spirit in a man. He is the most high. They don't have him. And you see how the world take care of them. Take care of their own. And people walk around here and tend to like it like that. They see it like they live it and they believe it like that. And they don't have no problem. And they shouldn't. That's their destiny. Okay? So what I want to say is many not going, many won't receive understanding. Because the understanding, you guys, has already been issued out. It's in you. If the spirit of the Holy Spirit is living in you, that's the understanding. It has already been measured to every man. So that's why Sister Deborah always said people chasing their tails around, because it's really over. And people trying to make it look as if they still can come in whenever they want out of the rain, and it's going to be all well then, as it is all well now. I catch them on the other side. I saw something else. Donald Trump is over in China, I believe, somewhere over there. And I heard him with my own ears bragging on G5. And he went to telling them what G5 did good. But we have moved to G6. We have moved to G6. And G6 is now allowing us to see very clear beyond their skin. You see, people? They didn't put stuff in your body. And that's what those towers were for. I knew that when the Father says, Deborah, it's worser than darkness. Oh, I say unto you, I'm so thankful that the Father's given me a chance to know him. Just that chance to get to know him. I am so grateful. Oh, I'm so grateful. You on nationwide television telling the world that you all in this country, the United States, has moved to G6. And now G6 is so good, it is allowing you to see even better beyond the skin. You see? And watch this. Right in 2001, I think it was, or was it 2002, right when that pandemic took place, the main topic I was on was like a woman in travail. Well, I wore that out. The other topic was they are doing something. And guess what I was locked on? I bypass every G and I went to G7. Mm, mm. I want to say something in y'all ear. In case Sister Deborah don't be here, I want to plant something in your ear. And it don't matter if I plant it in your ear or not. If you are not a seed planter of spirit and truth and the light, it still ain't gonna help. Okay. But I want to say that when I heard him say that, it brought me back to the beginning of the pandemic when I was saying that it's the G7. It's the G7, y'all. When the G7 touch base in the United States of America, when the G7, now listen to what I'm saying. He's way over there in China, telling China here in the United States has moved from G5. They are now in G6, and the ignorant people in this country have no idea that the level of the towers have moved to 6. But China know. You see that? He gave it to them and told them that the United States has moved to G6. And these ignorant people here have no idea that the tower radiation have moved higher. But guess what? Me hearing that out of his mouth, and he said that now we can see through G6 through their skin. You know what the first thing the Spirit said? So you know how you were saying, why are these people murdering up their families in great numbers? It doesn't have a race. It have a lot of males, but they have females doing it too. See, they're doing also things. Mind control, y'all. You see? These people has successfully destroyed this country from the inside. The United States is destroyed from the inside. Sister Deborah messages has been turned to you all, telling you about how Babylon falling and saying it twice meant one had already failed. It has fallen. Right now, you're waiting for the debris, and it's falling. The second fall is taking place as I speak right now. But because the people in this country is lollygagging and playing around, making everything so simple and about themselves. See, people thinking that as long as I got my little stuff right here and it's just me and mine, I'm good. Guess what? You're going to suffer with you and yours. You see? Because that mindset like that is meant to let you fall right where you and yours are at. And a lot of people say that's what we want to do. That's where my family is at. Okay? But be careful, because your spiritual can be detached to the family which you say is where you want to be. And all of y'all go down, you going down together. And you have no idea. Babylon has fallen. We're waiting for the second fall. So what that led me to believe that the towers were exactly what was said. Broke down to y'all so many times. They have full control over you. The things that they're blowing in the skies with those lines in the sky. That's also, I'm sitting telling people that I ain't never had a sinus and nose running like this here. Something has taken place greater than what your eyes can see and your peanut brain can comprehend. And the Father says to the prophet, it's worse than darkness. So now I have to look at things worse than darkness. I can no longer see it pitch black, midnight hour, dark. It's worse than that. And they're going to bring this country down. It's down for the first falling. The second, they're already in the process. And the way they're doing it is from within. From within. The two witness is going to pull up over in Israel. Okay. The Antichrist and the beast, they going to show up over in that same area. Yes, they are. Closer to the Middle East, I believe. Middle West, no, Middle East. But guess what? United States of America will not be detached to the full one world government system. I believe they planned it that way. They are deleting people by great numbers. And by them being full control over the media, you will never know what's going on. And that's why it's so important to be high, be with he that is high, and rest therein, in him that's in you. Because if you think that you're going to outbeat what they've been planning for all these years, you're not going to. I want to share something else. I cannot say to you that those that Yah is going to bring out of Babylon won't be the young people. Too many, and if Yah had to say to me, and which he will, what is it I see it? I would say, Father, don't take the old. Don't take the old. The old gone, Yah. The olds, the elderly and the from 45 and up, no, even from 40, don't take them. They gone. They didn't had all these years to seek your face, to go your route, to be obedient in something. No, don't take them. Because, Father, they feel they're entitled. That will be my reason. They feel they are entitled. They're standing around feeling that they are entitled to you, Father, to the point, not that they have you in them, but they feel that they're entitled. And you know why? It's matching the ones that got left in the promised land. Match it to a T. I ain't talking about something that's supposed to be a lie. It's the truth. I'm the one that's in the wilderness hearing the Most High teach me. And if he asks me, what did I see it? I would say, Father, I see it that the elders only want to claim you, but they have nothing in them that trusts in you, that leans to you. That's if he asks me in the wilderness, like he always asks me, what do thou see it? Why? Because I'm not a dead prophet, y'all. I'm a living one. And I'm taught from the wilderness. That's my class. So when he's asking me in my class, what is it you're seeing in the earth today, Deborah? Can you see it? He know it. He see it. He already seen it. So when he's looking for me to tell him the truth and only the truth, because he already know what I'm thinking. So I'm going to be right back. So why would I sit here and lie to you? But then tell him the truth, but lie to you and get you to believe the lie. And then when he come to me and said, what is it I see it? He said, my servant, what is it you seeing on the earth? And that's what I see. They think they wrapping a rope around him. They think they got the most high bent. They think he gonna rumble their way. Oh, they all going to Mount Zion. They better wake up. You better go back to Egypt, find out what happened, and really get it right in the spirit. Because they went over, and what did they do? Nothing but complain like they do today. Same thing. They don't see nothing. They don't hear nothing. They don't know nothing. They don't do nothing. And they ain't going to do it. They just figure, hey, I'm entitled to go. That's how the spirits of elderly people think. They are entitled. They don't feel liable for being in the body of Hamashiach, being about the body of Hamashiach, uniting, coming in a oneness. No. I'm on my own. I don't need the world. I don't need it. You go where Yah send you. Because honestly, if he asks me, especially, I don't know if he's going to ask me on the Sabbath, but if he asks me, he already know what I just said to y'all. I'm for real, y'all. Where the babies at? The children that Josh took over. Did they have a changed mind? Because the elders was a hot mess. Just like they are today. Same today. I'm just one that's living there to tell the truth about it. They think they better than anything and everything. They feel so entitled, not even understanding. Your entitlement comes because you done did everything under the sun, under the ground, on top of the ground. And now you can look at everybody else and try to feel that you in there with the Most High Yah, because you can't do it no more. But you still have that same heart. So you ain't changed. Ain't nothing different. He knows what he's coming for and how he's going to get individuals out. And if he's doing anything like he did then, as far as separating, I can see the elders being separated. I could see that. Because from what I can see in the wilderness, from the wilderness level, they supporting a lot of evil and wicked. They have no understanding. They have not even received understanding. Because they figured they don't have to, because they're elders. Pull it up, Deborah. Revelation chapter 20, I believe it is. Hope I can find it in here. Revelation chapter 20. Is it 20 or 21? Let's see here. When he speaks of, let me see what he was saying. Here it is. Wait a minute. And say, okay, so it must be 21. Okay. And I saw the heavens and the new earth, and the heavens and the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea. Nope, that ain't it. It's 20. Revelation chapter 20. Let me just get to that verse that was in Revelation, I'm sure. In it, it was talking about how Yah judged the young and the old. Let me say it. Let me say that's what it says. And he judged the young and the old. The way they teaching people is, let me get that up here. Revelation, when he said he judged the young and the old. Let me see, where is that? 20 and verse 12. There it is. It was in 20, but it's verse 12. This is what John said. He said, I saw the dead, small and great. That means young and old. I saw the dead, young and great. No, didn't say young. Small and great stand before Yah, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead. The book and the dead was judged out of those books, which was written in out of they were judged out of those things which were written in the book. Small and great. That means young and old. So ain't nobody escaping nothing. But for those thousands of years that he's going to allow them to reign over in Mount Zion, I would not be surprised at all if he take the young to Mount Zion. I would not be surprised. Not at all. What I'm looking at down here, some of the hatefulest hearts are those also as the elders. This is how all these pastors and these bishops and all these churches got away with stuff. And then they left the church. But this is how these people got to the level of wicked that they have successfully moved in. Because a lot of these elders, these deaconess, these ushers, and these elders who have supported the church and they wicked and they evil all these years. And the young today ain't got nothing. They ain't got a good word from the Most High Yah. I don't think y'all get it. They haven't received a good word because the elders had a chance to hear. The elders had the ability to take on the Holy Spirit, but the young people, they didn't stand a chance because the elders didn't leave them nothing to go on, just like over in the wilderness. All they complaining from the time they got out there to the time they left in captivity from Egypt, all the way till they just died off in the carcass. I think that's what they said. The carcass had a feast day. That means they died in the wilderness. They complained right in front of the young people. Never trusting in the Most High Yah. You would think after age, it makes you at least want to see the light, want to do right, want to know spirit and truth. No, they don't. They feel so entitled. So Sister Deborah saying that, but the Father is just talking to me now and said, Deborah, they thought they were entitled. See, I ain't telling y'all no lie. They feel so entitled. All I have to do is hear, I know I'm going. I got my ticket. I'm holding on. Then did everything under the sun, under the ground, and everything else. And got such evil judgmental spirit regarding the world itself as if they never lived in it. As if they never lived in the world. They still today do not and reject leaving the young people with anything. They don't want to give them spirit and truth. They don't want to give them the light. They don't want to give them how great and how excellent, how perfect, how wonderful, how all-knowing, how all-power the Most High is. They don't even want to give them a word. They just want to sit and get older and say they got their ticket already. Like they done done the work. Like they done really done something. These are the same people who murmured the whole time he brought them out of Egypt. The same spirits. And I try to tell people that's one thing that Yah is doing. He allowing these spirits to be the same as it was back in the days. And only thing, let me say the same, but he say worse today. So if you're thinking that the elders are not worse than those that was in Egypt, you got another thing coming, baby. You got all these elder pastors, all these elders, priests, pope. We know they ain't gonna tell the truth about nothing, no way. All these elders that's out here that could have made a difference, that should have made a difference, that should be the ones that's fired up for y'all, but they're not. They standing around, look, I know I'm entitled. Oh, no. Taking every pharmaceutical medicine in the world. But yet they entitled to go to Mount Zion. And have the audacity to sit back and not support. But yet they entitled, y'all. I would not be surprised if he does choose the young people to take over to the Mount Zion. He already gonna have to do a work on them because ain't nobody perfect. But the elders today, they are rejecting everything that represent Yah. Did y'all know that? I know a lot of y'all don't know that. But that's what you call hardcore truth. Just as they did back in the days. They doing it today, y'all. I know y'all in for it. You think I'm an elder. I'm 65. And I know I'm doing some work. And I don't mean flesh work, spiritual work. But if you got to lead me too, lead my tail too. Do what you know how to do that's best and righteous in you, Father. I don't have no problem with that. Why would I sit here and tell you and exclude myself? If we ain't doing the work and we still thinking we entitled because of our age, we hadn't pulled out anything, y'all, in the last 30 years to these young people. Ain't poured out anything. But think we are so entitled to everything Yah has to offer. That's a sad thing. Because with me, I even think about, I said, Father, if we can't get along down here, you taking all of us, and I know you're going to change everything about us. We're going to be able to get along in Mount Zion. But we got to get there, and I know we're going to be on a journey. Oh, Father, whatever you got planned, I'm with you. If I got to go to the grave, I'm fine with that too, Father. I'm just fine with whatever my Father chose to do. But if he asks me the question, Deborah, well, what is it I see? And he's bad at that, child. He been asking me that a lot of times, even when I was young. What is it I see? Because he knows that I'm his servant. And he wants me to tell him how I'm feeling about what I see. And honestly, huh, elders ain't left these kids nothing and ain't going to leave them nothing but negative words about how they ain't doing this, they ain't doing this, and they done this, and they done this, and you done worse. Because the reason why they where they at is because of what you did. Nothing. Set in all these places of worship in these churches and these Jehovah Witnesses, these Muslims, all this whole mess. No spirit and truth, no light. You left no generation, nothing. Those with kids and those are without. The ones without is the more hateful ones because they self-centered. They think the world surrounds and is about them. The world is about them. And the more the world is about them and what they have and what they doing, they live and die that way. I don't know why people don't think of, okay, if it's true, let's say if, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people, he called them his people, they perish. You see that, y'all? They what? Wait a minute. How does that sound, y'all? This is what I said to the Father. Father, they read their study guide and don't even believe nothing in it. They don't walk in it, talk in it, they don't teach in it, and they don't preach in it. Now listen to this. While you sitting here looking at me all cocky. He said, my people are destroyed, Deborah, for lack of knowledge, knowing. They lack knowing. But guess what, y'all? There's a mystery in that. Listen to it. He gives you a just reason because thou hast rejected the knowledge. So you can look at me all cockeyed if you want to. The truth be told, too many people have left nothing but they hateful heart in thinking that they entitled to the promised land. They entitled to get up out of here. Honestly, to be real with you, y'all gonna show you ain't entitled to nothing but that tribulation that's poured up. See, because everybody think they crap don't stink, if you know what that means. People do, y'all. People think when they go into the bathroom and they crap, it don't stink. Why? Because they so much better than somebody else. Mine's exempt. You see? An elderly lady taught me that. She said that's the reality of the world, the way that people think. They exclude themselves, their own crap. And they think everybody else think, but theirs don't. That's some facts. So I'm sitting here just listening to, in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, I like how he say, my people. At the same time, hear me, y'all. I don't care if your eyes cockeyed looking at me now, but there's a powerful word that's right here. This the right. In the right hand, he's calling you his people. What was that? Something went off. In the left hand, he said, you are destroyed. In the right hand, he's calling you his people. In the left hand, he said, you destroyed. What is that y'all don't get? You want to sit and look at me cockeyed like I don't know what I'm talking about? That's why I can run this book through your tail, inside and out. And you'll never understand how much you can be just like what he wants you to see. And you'll walk around here and exclude yourself from it. My people, heard his people, are destroyed. They destroyed Deborah. Watch this here. For lack of knowledge. So they lacking something, right? And what is that? Knowledge. Well, who fault is that? Tell them, Deborah. Go on there, girl. Take them there. Who fault is that? Watch this here. My people, which is his people on the right, in his right hand, are destroyed, Deborah, for lack of knowledge. Knowledge? Knowing? What? Watch this here. He turned around and said, because. He's turning around here telling you why his people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And then he turn around and tell you they destroyed, but watch this. Because they have reject knowledge. But yet you're supposed to go to Mount Zion. You're supposed to be the one he come to get. Oh, you in there. You got your ticket. You know you going eternal. You see? See the mindset? But he's sitting here telling you. They my people, but I'm going to tell the truth. I love that. They destroy. They reject knowledge. So what is Sister Deborah giving? Sister Deborah giving you something greater, even greater on top of knowledge. Spirit and truth. Sister Deborah giving you the light. And you run around here thinking you got your ticket already to the kingdom. And can't nobody tell me nothing. I know I'm going. And this is the same reason why if the Father had to say something to me. Now, when the Father's saying it to me, he ain't getting my okay. He ain't getting my approval. He want to make sure you see what the earth is like. Yeah. I didn't send you down there and not give you the tools that you're going to need while you're down here. Now I want to know also, do you feel that thing? That's what he said. Do you feel that thing? Well, what is it you feeling, Deborah? What is it you feeling, Father? The elders should be left behind. Same way over in the wilderness. They got left behind. And if y'all really would want to know the truth of the whole matter, that was a lot of people left behind. A whole lot. But this is them being left behind, and that example should steer the elders to be different today. But it don't. Why? Because he said today is worse than yesterday. They're the answer. Today is worse than yesterday. So they're your answer. Okay? And then here he say, and I will also, Deborah, tell them. Hosea chapter 6, chapter 4, verse 6. And I will reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. See that priest? That's a servant to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yah, I will also forget thy children. What is it y'all don't get? You see? That's why I say to y'all look at me all cockeyed, but when y'all finish looking and catching that, and you catching up with that hate that's in you, guess what they're going to tell you when it all said and done? That lady teaches spirit and truth in the life. Ain't nothing she saying is a lie. You see? So I'm just building up on how people really believe that they're going to make it somewhere as if they are entitled. We talked yesterday about y'all wanting us to unite and to come into a oneness. These elders, they don't want to do that. I know I'm coming. I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to do this, and I don't have to do that. They left the church. You might as well find another church closer to you. Maybe someone that's walking distance, because you sure need to get there. Because you ain't doing nothing else but sitting around trying to keep up trouble amongst others. Because if you was about the Father business, you'll be about the Father's business. So if he left them in in the wilderness, I salute that if he has to do it again. Most likely it will be something like that. Because I sit back and say, Father, them some old hateful sons. Pride-minded, self-centered, don't want to hear, don't want to believe, and loaded up with all kind of pharmaceuticals. Anything this world tells them, they believe. And then they're trying to curse in their hearts the servant of the Most High Yah. You think y'all didn't know that, didn't you? He know I ain't lying. Did y'all know that anything that I say, Yah would charge me for it? And don't you know I know that? He ain't been with me since I was 4 for nothing. That wasn't even my topic, but it was his. It's what he wanted to have said. He even talked about during these evil days, the body's supposed to come together, work together, support one another. But these elders, they don't want a part of the body of Hamashiach from the leg to the thigh, to the arm, to the fingers. You see? They don't want no part because they thinking that they got their ticket already. They good, they got. You see? Instead of trying to take their elderly years to hear the voice of Yah speaks to them. He don't even want to speak to them because they so busy speaking to their own selves. But let the doctor say, when your high blood pressure, your diabetes, oh, you got kidney failure, you got this. When doctor, what do you think I should give me what I need so I can take it? But won't hear the voice of Yah in any shape, form, or fashion. It's sad. Set and pay tithes and offering faithfully in the place of worship and darkness. But today, they sit back doing more complaining than anything. And they really believe that Yah don't hear them. They really believe that Yah cannot hear their voices of their thoughts. Want me to tell you what he hear? He hear your heart. The thoughts of your heart, he hear it. And when I begin to tell y'all about how people are holding on to the world, a lot of the elders are still in the world. Because that's how they see Yah. From the standpoint of the world. Oh, he ain't nobody. I know I'm going. As if he's going to play pity party for you. You now. And he left, I'm going to say thousands and thousands in the wilderness. And then turn back and bust a cry. He left their tails there. You see? What happened? Do y'all understand what happened with them in the wilderness? They no longer had Yah as their overseer. He left their tails there. He did not see after them. So what you think he gonna do today? You think this tribulation is playtime for you? You think this tribulation is playtime? When you in a situation where they start closing all the stores and you need to get around and your legs are swollen. You think he gonna look at you and say, oh, poor thing, your legs are swollen when you got such a hateful heart? As you get older and older, you more hateful and hateful. Can't tell nobody nothing. You can't even minister to your grandbabies. You can't even minister to your nieces and nephews. You can't even minister to your children. You can't say nothing to nobody. because the hate that's in your heart still rests there from when you was in the church. You still dealing like you still in the church. And really you are. And that's why I tell people over and over, people of light and spirit and truth, it's okay to feel that you're the only one. When you are the one that's speaking spirit and truth, and you are the one that he's using to speak to many. But the many is few, because he knows who he's talking to. That's why I said sit in the corner all day and all night. It don't mean nothing but something to you. And I'm glad it means something to you, meaning your flesh. Because it ain't going to pay off. Okay? It ain't going to pay off. When the heart is so hardened, and it can't be any type of light to brighten it, let them stay there. Just as the Father let them stay in the wilderness. Let them stay. Keep it moving, Deborah. You see? Many won't receive understanding because they got their own understanding of their flesh that has taken over them and have won them into their captivity of their flesh. And they cannot grip spirit and truth and the things that rest therein. So they just reside right there in hope that, hey, I got my ticket. I know I'm saved. I know I'm full of the Holy Spirit. I know I'm going. Yeah, we all going to the grave. Is that where you're talking? We all going to the grave. Is that where you're talking? That's how bad it really is. That's how sad it really is. But it is what it is. And can't nobody do nothing about it. Nobody. So I just want to go right into something. I think I want to go into Hebrew chapter 3. I think I'll try there. I don't know. Into Hebrew chapter 3. Let me see if this is going to Hebrew chapter 3, verse 17 and 18 and 19. Hebrew chapter 3, verse 17. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcass fell in the wilderness? Oh, wait a minute. He's speaking of the evil heart of the unbelievers. Verse 18. And to whom swear he that they should not enter into his rest? Who swear that? That they shall not enter into his rest. But to them that believe not. Right there, he just won over the word rest in Genesis chapter 1. He just told you that the children of Israel that came out of Egypt, they died in the wilderness. And to whom swear he that they shall not enter into his rest? So you gonna stand on this devil platform and look all cockeyed, thinking I'm saying something out of order? You out of order. I know what I'm saying. If he stands and he says, I want you to tell me, what is it I see it? I'm gonna tell him. This is what I see. I see this. Do I talk about it? No. Because only one can do something about it is he that sees it all. He ain't asking me like I'm somebody. He just wants me to make sure that, are you seeing right? That's all. Now, I want you to look at this here. We're going to start with verse 16. For we in Hebrew chapter 3 and verse 16. For some, when they had heard, did provoke. Howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. So we know we're talking about Moses and the Israelite that came out of Egypt. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Stupid people did not know. If he taking you out of captivity, you should have had sense enough to know if he's taking me out of captivity, he must be taking me somewhere better. People, not only did they not think of that, even to this very day. So when you thinking I'm just running my mouth, I'm not just running my mouth. You know why? The Ruach in me will bag me up, and the Ruach in me will land me down. He don't play. So I know what I'm talking about, whether you get it or don't. Whether you get cockeyed at what you hearing or don't. It don't matter. You ain't nobody. Okay? So here in 16 is telling you about the Israelites that provoked him and how they came out of Egypt by Moses. Verse 17. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Who was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned? Yes. Whose carcass fell in the wilderness? They died. Hello. Watch this here. Verse 18. And to whom sworn he that they shall not enter into his rest. I didn't know he sworn that. That's the first time I ever heard that. That they shall not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. This is this thing with this believe not. He branded his with belief. So if you got people out there that just form their own self based on their natural belief in Yah, that's not it. That's why you can't get on the right track with spirit and truth and the light and come into the oneness, into the unity, and do what you're supposed to do. It's because you're thinking you're going to take your flesh belief and create within you that's the belief. No, it's not. Verse 18, it says, and to whom sworn he that they shall not enter into his rest. Do you see that rest? That's the rest I've been trying to get people to understand. It's not the rest that y'all thinking. But since you want the way of the world, and the world has created the rest for you to understand it in your flesh, go for what you know. Go for what you know. Okay? But this is what happened. He said in 18, that but to them that believe it not, you are not going to enter into his rest. Verse 19. So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. So what we do, we'll turn around and create belief, not create it. We'll settle. Hear me now, y'all. Hear me now. We will settle for the unbelief in the flesh to assure us that we got our ticket to Mount Zion. We going. We awakening. We going. We got our ticket. I'm ready. I know he's coming. Oh, he's about to come. What time is it? I know what you see. That's the flesh feeding the flesh. If he did not bring Israel out the first time, don't think that he's entitled to bring you out this time in spite of everything and anything that's in your heart. Because he ain't bringing serpent seeds out to give them a new heart, a new spirit. No, he's not. You won't find that nowhere in your study guide if you do any studying. Where does it say that I'm bringing the serpent seeds out? Where does it say that? Where does it say I'm bringing the flesh out? Where does it say that? Because the flesh that's detached and born of the flesh is the serpent seeds. The serpent got to them. So what makes you think he bringing them over to Mount Zion to clean them up? No, y'all got it bent. Y'all got it bent. And he gonna clean up sin and iniquity that's in the flesh. And if he's cleaning up sin and iniquity in the flesh, that tells you he's coming after something he can do with the spirit. So here you see he's telling us how he felt about the elders. Sit your tails down. He's telling you, but do you think you care? No, because you feel so entitled to the kingdom. Even after he allowed you to live 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, 90, 100, you still feel you entitled. And all you have to sit there and order him to make sure you get to where you need to go in eternal kingdom or in Mount Zion. That's how easy it is for people to play in their flesh and they flesh to deceive them. See, before Satan could deceive you, hear me now. Before Satan can deceive you, you have to have already deceived yourself. That's what make him take over. Because you have already deceived yourself and he takes it from there. So if the Creator is warning us about a time worse than any other time, and then in tribulation, perilous time, and men's hearts are going to fail them, what's the first thing you should be thinking? Oh, Father, I need you. Forgive me and help me be about you. No one wants to do that. They figure they got to an age where they don't have to be about nothing but what their flesh keep instilling in them. Well, what they don't know, that old flesh is set in its ways. It ain't gonna even buckle up to the Most High Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. And I can understand why the children didn't receive anything. We didn't leave them anything. Because we was caught up in me, and mine. I ain't got no kids. I ain't worried about you worse than any of them. When you don't have kids, you worse than any of them because you can't feel nobody but yourself. I'm going to tell it like it is. You can't feel nothing but yourself. That's that hardcore wicked and evil. You can't feel nothing but yourself. You so caught up in self and pride, ego, me, and greed on top of it. Children change a person's heart. It makes you think different. It makes you feel different. It makes you act different. But when you don't have none, you don't give a rat's behind, just like these men. Walk around here that been in laid 15 kids, 10 kids, 5 kids, 3 kids, 1 kid, and left them and never returned. Because they caught up in self. Father, I don't know where you're going with this, but I like this, Father, Yah. Let me get to Hebrew chapter 4. In Hebrew chapter 4, verse 2 and 3, it says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preach did not profit them." Tell me, ain't that today? I'm sitting here telling y'all that's today. That he's telling you about how they were yesterday. And what did the Father want us to know about today? That's different from yesterday. That is worse. So you cannot pull up today and make it better than yesterday and stand your tail around and try to think that you're going to stand in the gap because it's so much better today. You's a liar. And you tell your flesh the lie day after day. Listen to what it says. Hebrew chapter 4, verse 2. "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them." He's telling you. Paul is telling you in Hebrew that it was preached to us. But listen to what he said. It was preached, the word was preached. Okay? And not profit. It didn't profit them. Not being mixed with the faith in them that heard it. See that faith? The word of Yah was preached. Okay? And it says, not mixed with faith in them. In them that heard it. You see? That's how it was then. That's how it is today. So if Paul had to step into Sister Deborah, Paul has to listen to me. Paul know his day and time. I know the time y'all got me living in. I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. That's why he's asking me about what I see. That's why I can say to him what I see. He ain't talking about, do you see what Paul said? Do you see what this one said? No, he said, what do you see today, Deborah? And I say to him exactly what I see. Why? Because he's already prophesied it's going to be worse than yesterday. So what I'm going to do, lie to him? I'm going to lie to the Most High Yah that is so good today. And everybody falling into the body of Hamashiach. Everybody doing their part. Everybody coming into a oneness. Why would it look like I should lie like you? I don't need to lie like you. Something is too greater in me. It wouldn't pay to even think to lie. So here in verse 3, it says, "For we which believed do enter into the rest." Don't forget that belief is not a belief in the flesh. It is the belief that we were branded with in the spirit. We shall enter into the rest. Okay? As he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, in his wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. The work was finished, y'all. But if they enter in through my rest, it's because I branded them, Deborah, with belief. Belief. But then he went to telling you that they didn't have belief, nor did they have faith. Same way today. Why would you all think today is better? Why would you not take yesterday and look at it 2 times worse than today? Why won't people do that? Why won't people preach that? Why won't people teach that? Why won't nobody minister that? Why won't nobody precept and line and little that down? No, They telling people that the sun coming out. He coming to get us. We ready. We keep wanting to hear and believe the lie. And we are fully denying the truth that's looking us dead in our eyes. And we want to still yet make him the liar. So I really appreciate him saying this, because it really lets you know that he means what he say, and he say what he means. And he explained to us that they didn't get to enter into the rest. You know what that rest is? That rest even is eternal. And I'm like saying, how is it that you say they didn't believe? You mean when they put that blood on the door and death passed by? When you allow them to come out of the land of their captives with wealth. See, going back to here, look at the sick people today. You got a lot of people that's sick, calling for us as a people to inherit what they have taken from us, that they should give us. Did not Yah suffer Egypt to give them gold, silver, and all kind of stuff to come out with? Did it help them, y'all? Did all of the gold and the silver and everything they came out, did it help them? Sister Deborah trying to take y'all into the deep of the deep to show y'all it ain't going to be like you trying to crank it up to be. Y'all is not going to allow us to have it our way. And he ain't going to let us even touch the rim of his way, because he got this thing willed. So in here, in Hebrew, he told you about how he brought them out of Egypt, and they were left in the wilderness because of their sin and because of how they didn't have no belief. Today, if he were to ask me, I would have to tell him, it's worse as you say. The elders has the same mindset. And then you will look at me cockeyed and hate what I say because I tell you the truth. But it don't matter if I tell you the truth. As long as I stand before the Father and he asks me, what do I see it? I tell him the truth, because he knows already my thoughts. And it's not this mind of my flesh, but my thoughts of what I see. So here in Hebrew chapter 4, he goes back to tell you that the gospel, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as to them. Letting you know he did not give them lesser than he would give us. So we got to look at how just the Creator is, how just he's always been, because what we're trying to do is, in our own wicked, evil ways, we're trying to make him a lie. We're trying to make him not to be all that he is, not just what he is, but what he was. You see? And he's given us everything. Everything. And we still think that we should be in control and we should rule it in our feelings and our emotions. We think that we got to have it our way. And when they get to be elders, you can't train, what they say, you can't teach a old dog new tricks. That's the world way of saying it. But honestly, with Yah, he's not looking so much as, okay, you're old and you're young, because your spirit never age. I don't know if y'all know that. You see? Not in Yah. But what he's looking at is the flesh having dominion over the spirit. So therefore, your spirit ain't making no sense. And y'all not taking you the way your flesh feel. And you ain't doing nothing in the spirit realm. I mean, nothing. But then you want to sit and make him think, not make him think that he's supposed to bring you to the promised land. He just told you. The way that you are, you ain't going to enter into his rest. So if the prophet is telling you, you need to judge yourself. And do not judge yourself without repentance in front of you, in the back of you, and every side you turn. You got to. Because you're stuck in a way that you can't get out of. And if you think you're going to just walk up into the kingdom because you got the ways of who you are in your elderly years, and you feel you entitled to the Most High Yah, no, that's not how he moved. I'm so grateful that he taught me about the brands, because the brands is what's already in us. And that's why he knows who's going to enter into the rest. He said, those who have believed. You see? Those brands, anybody got those brands? Even if you just got one of them. You are in there. So today is a day where we need to really look within ourselves, not measure others, but looking within yourself and think about what I'm saying. Because tomorrow is not promised to you, me, nor you. And if you didn't heard spirit and truth today, and the light has brought itself towards your darkness, you better take on the light and tell your darkness to kick itself to the curb and own that thing. Stop thinking and feeling you are fully entitled because you have lived so long. You can look at the young people and pretty much tell everything they doing wrong. Why? Because you done it too. But you ain't leaving the young people nothing. Not a word from Yah. Not spirit and truth, no light, no nothing. But saying you entitled because you didn't live so long. That's not going to get you into the kingdom. That's not going to allow you to walk in the rest. He left their tails, those old people, tails right in the wilderness. And Josh took the children over to the promised land. So don't play with the Father in this day and time. He said today is worse than that day. Ooh, did you go there? Yes, I did. Because it seems like people don't think today is that bad. They think they ain't worse. All you have to do is remember the things of the past. And then look at today 3 times worse. Always keep that in mind. It'll keep you on your toes about where you need to stand before Yah. And how you need to feel when you stand before him. When we go before Yah, you surrender your nasty flesh. You die right there before him. And try to touch the hem of his garment in your spirit. And listen to what he has to say. But don't usher your flesh to his throne. Because he don't hear it. He don't see it. He don't want no part in it. And no, you never reach him through your flesh. So what are you saying, Deborah? Cut all that emotions and that feeling out. He don't want you coming hoo-hooing and hoo-hooing and boo-hooing. He wants you to come the way of your spirit. Because your spirit ain't going to be up there hoo-hooing and your spirit is going to want to hear from his spirit. But when we try to enter in to the throne or at the throne, people 99.9 wants to go in through their flesh. And the Father ain't going to let you do that. So you can go in and you can come out and you can tell yourself, your flesh, that you've been in. You can tell your flesh that you spoke with Yah, you prayed and you asked for repent and you told them this and you told them that. That's all flesh, baby. When your tail get up from really coming from the throne, you feel like a new person. You feel like a new person. You know you didn't went into holy. But people won't get there because they say it don't take all that. I'm too old for that. I don't need to do that. He know I love him. He know I'm this. He know that's the mindset of people who cannot change. And this verse here talks about in Hebrew chapter 3 and in Hebrew chapter 4 tells you how he left them in the wilderness. That was the elders. I would not be surprised if he don't do the same. I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't. Because if, like I say, if he asks me, I'll tell him exactly what I see. The elders have not left anything for the young to go on, to reach out, to stand, to hope. And then they come and try to claim they got victory in Yah. Let me give you an example, and then I'm going to call it a quit. I moved in Atlanta, Georgia, and I remember we had moved in this house, and we was just taking our stuff out, putting it in the house, and the neighbors, they were sitting outside watching us. I hate when people do that because they see what you're bringing in. They was out there watching, and they were really nice, and one was assistant pastor. It was a female. She was assistant pastor, and she stayed there with her oldest son. I think she had like 3 children, but her oldest son stayed with her, and I think he was like 58, something like that. And he still stayed with his mother. He had a wife and 3 beautiful children, but he wasn't staying with his wife anymore because he couldn't live with her. He couldn't live with his wife. Did he love his wife and his children? He said he did, but he couldn't live with them. What happened? This is a prime example. And I'm telling y'all this because this is not the only example. This is throughout my living. These are the type of stories Sister Deborah have heard. And that's why I can speak very highly toward how the elders want to present themselves in a time like this, where they can't go back and pick up or repeat what they once or how they once lived because they at that age where they can't go back. So they like to take where they at and make it all that and some, you see, and make everybody else the bad ones because they're at an age where they couldn't. And if they could, they would go back there and do everything that they repeated that they did at first. Let's put it like that. So couple of weeks went by. We was and the neighbors, we were high and so on. And I'm a type of person, I don't deal with my neighbors. Never did. I don't. High and by, and that's it. But these neighbors knocked on the door, and the son knocked on the door and wanted to invite us to their church because his mother is the assistant pastor and another lady was the pastor. And I was telling them when we would go someday, but we wasn't going, because we just moved in and everything. So several times his mother came by and said, I want to invite y'all to the church. So I told him, okay. I said, I don't know if it's a good idea that I come. And they said, she asked his mother, she was an elderly lady. She called herself being an assistant pastor. I said, I don't know if I should come. I said, I got to commune with the Father because I just can't come up in any place. I just told y'all, I don't care. I don't care. I just can't pull up just any old place. And at that time, she instant told her son, that lady is a prophet. That lady is a prophet. She went back telling her pastor, and they insist on me coming. I didn't go. So the son knocked on the back door one noon, and he said, can me and you talk? And at that time, I looked at him, and I told him, yeah. He went on and telling me about how when he was 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, his mother sold him to other men for drugs. So he was raped throughout his whole young life. Little boy, little baby, whatever. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think he was like 10. And his mother sold him. And he was raped, molested, and he tells me that he has a hard time dealing. He said, I can't function. I can't live. I can't be happy. And I asked him, what was it really about? He said, how the father allowed my mother to be assistant pastor after she has ruined his life like that. He said he's stuck because the horrible life he has had because of what she did. And here she is living holier than thou, assistant pastor, shouting and praising while he's still suffering. And like I said, he was like 58. 3 beautiful daughters, and he has a nice looking wife, but he couldn't live with them. All these things haunted this man all his living. So he would go right back and stay with his mother. I guess that gave him some sort of ease. He was the drum player in the church. He was a man that when he dressed, I mean, y'all, he dressed from head to toe. Clean cut, shaved, just sharp. And when he said that, he was really wanting me to give him some more advice about moving on and moving ahead. At that time, I couldn't, because I wouldn't want to just think I had the answer to it all. That was a hard pill to swallow. Now, hear me now. I'd heard way worse. But now I had to realize that a mother stay next door that is an assistant pastor, and they trying to get me to go to their church, and here she got pain of her son. And I asked him, have she repented? Has she said she was sorry? You know what he told me? She says it all the time. And she tells me this, listen to this, that if God has forgiven me, then you might as well forgive me too. Because if God has forgiven me, you should forgive me too. And that's what's the man battle. He couldn't even raise his 3 children. He couldn't live with his wife. That's what his mother said. God has forgiven me. And here his man is, and you see him hurt. You see him in so much pain. But none of that mean anything to her. She's looking at the fact that God has forgiven me. And that's all that's important. Not looking at what he had to deal with and what he had to live with. That's deep. I could not see myself going to the altar, seeking Yah's forgiveness for doing something to an individual where they are still hurting from what I did. And that type of hurt, being molested from 3 to 10, because she wanted to smoke crack. And just because in her heart she feels God forgave me, but lived with him and him with her with the hurt. And they was, hey y'all, it was every other week him and her was arguing over at that house. Every other week was arguing big time. And I told him, you can't do that. You can't do it. And this man had such a remorse for when he has to go off on his mother. But it comes from a place where she wasn't his protector from 3 to 10. She really was his enemy. So he's still hurting from that. I try to explain to people, you can have a woman in a house or a man that's an alcoholic that drinks. If a woman is in the house and she's an alcoholic and the husband is not, guess what's so sad about that? One day the husband decided to take a drink to join his wife. And it led to another drink and another drink and another drink. Now he has become what she is. But all of a sudden, she stopped drinking. She no longer want to drink. She's going to the programs to kick the habit. And it's been well over 3 years since she drank. But the husband still drink, lost his job, still drinking and drinking. He's an alcoholic. But now she is set free. In a situation likened to drugs. A man is addicted to drugs, and his wife been with him 3 years without taking drugs. So one day she decided to take drugs, try it. And then now she's taking it like he's taking it. But all of a sudden he had stomach problems, went into the hospital, and they had to do surgery. And when he came out, he decided to never take drugs again. But he still got his wife that's still fully addicted. One thing I can say for sure, people will lead you in it, but they won't lead you out of it. They won't. They will lead you in a situation, but they won't lead you out. They're so busy keeping themselves out and being happy that they're not in it, to where they're not even willing to go all the way with you to bring you out because they the one brought you in. Y'all don't know a lot of that goes on in these households. Same thing with the grandpa and the uncles and molesting their relative. All the way down. I had a person that came to see me, and she was here for 2 weeks. And I never understood, why was her family fighting her? They did not want her to come out of, was it North Carolina, South Carolina? Oh, y'all. Oh, they fought that woman. They did not want her to get on that plane and head to me. To the point they contacted somebody here in this state here where I'm at, family member now, to tell them she's on her way. And they told her that this is a trap. Did you know I have never seen a family try to stop a grown woman, 48 years old? No, she had to be older than that, from going to coming out of South Carolina. Now, when she was in North Carolina, South Carolina, she was going through because so much going on with her son, so much going on with her daughter. Everybody caught up in drinking and alcohol, and they didn't want her to leave out. I don't allow people to tell me nothing. I've heard other people testimony one-on-one from them to me. Y'all, she gave them my number. She gave them my address and my number. And did you all know them people was on me, tracking me? They didn't look at where I stayed, everything. They did not want her to reach me. And I told her, you were wrong for that. You shouldn't have gave them all of my information. But they didn't want me to leave because, they kept saying, don't leave, and family. Now, you got to understand, she's also was homeless. No family member take her in. She hasn't dealt with her family in years, but they didn't want her to come out. They didn't want her to come out of South Carolina. They didn't want her to touch base with me. Y'all, let me explain something to y'all. I was disappointed that this cousin tracked me down. He tracked me down. She gave him the flight. Now, she ain't seen him, I think, in like 20 years. But she knew he stayed in the same state that I stayed in. That man tracked Sister Deborah down. Wait a minute, he didn't track me down. He where I stayed, everything. They had so much bad word out on me. Family in South Carolina and him. Oh, they just had everything going on. Now, the sad part is about it, they say that I was a scam. But yet I'm the one paying for her way back home. But I'm the scammer. I'm the one letting her stay with me, but I'm the scammer. I can be all that and some. I don't give a rat's behind whatever somebody say about me. Okay? He knows it all. You all, you know what? I've heard many stories. Not stories, many things that has happened to people in their living, especially with the parents. But this one here hit hard. It hit hard because my mother and father had 7 children. That stuff didn't happen in my household. It was so deep, y'all. She knocked on the door of my bedroom. She said, "Can I come in?" I said, "Yeah, sure, come on." And we stayed up all night. She sat on my bed and we just talked and talked and talked. And she told me the whole story. That's why they was trying to stop her from coming to me. They was trying to stop her from coming out of South Carolina because they did not want the truth out. The family went back a very long time with Grandpa. Mama, father, daddies, Grandpa, daddy, all 7 sons, all 7 brothers. I was like, They were allowed to rape the children, every last one that was born. The boys and the girls, y'all. Grandma, mom, all of them was in it. To the point where her oldest son was gay. And the daughter that was so dear, connected to me for a long time, y'all. I mean, a long time. She went out that way too. She sat on that bed and she told me all the things that was going on. And you know, the one that stayed here in this state that was tracking me down and putting these bad words out on me, calling back to South Carolina, she said he had told the whole family that I was a witch and I was a scammer. Now, this lady was homeless now. That's why I'm like saying to her, "What? How are you homeless and none of them let you stay?" She said they never let us stay. Me and my son stay with them. My son stayed with his friends. They never let me and my son and my daughter and my grandson stay with. She brought her grandson with her. And then she began to tell me that because all of that from granddaddy to it was great granddaddy, then granddaddy, then her father's her father, and then on mama's side, it was the same way. Mama's father, all of them was doing it to all the children. And they even they came all the way down to the present, to her son. One of the uncles, her uncles, all the time had been raping her son and she didn't know it. Till she decided, well, I'm going to go on both ends too. So that's what she did. And the one that was tracking me down, he was the one that made sure he raped every child in the family. That's why he's tracking me down. They don't want it to get out, child. They didn't want it to get out. And they knew if she was coming to the prophetess house, she was going to spill the beans. So when I pulled up and picked her and her grandson up at the airport, I made sure I pulled up bold. You think I didn't? That time I had a GMC big truck with big wheels on it. When that man saw me, his eyes fell out of his. They didn't fall off for real, but you should have seen him. He was totally shocked. He looked at the truck and seen how, just everything, and saw her bags, me helping her put her bags in the front, I mean in the back. And he just was dumbfounded. It just shocked. If y'all could see the look on this man's face, all them lies that he done told, it was like his eyes, y'all, and he looked at nasty. He looked at nasty. But the way he looked at me was like, I cannot believe this. He seen this little old lady jump out of that big truck. He didn't know what to think. Red truck, shining. He didn't know what to think. You see? And she introduced me to him. I looked him straight up and down. Kept on going. I didn't even speak. And I'm glad I did. Because he was the biggest pedophile in their whole house. Everybody got raped by him. I say they didn't want you to get out, so that won't get out. It's a family history of somebody doing something throughout the whole family. They were all being tagged. Do y'all know that the children that were raped, they raped their children, and then they raped their children, and they raped this thing that great grandparents, the mother was involved in it, she said. Her mother was involved in it. They ruined the whole generation after generation after generation. How can one pull out of that sort of curse? That sort of generational curse. How could they pull out of that? How could you pull out? You can't. It's too heavy. So those were my YouTubers that went back out into the out there. After I realized that that wasn't something that I could help with, it was too deep. So I say unto you, you can look at me all cockeyed if you want when I say about the elders. They got different hearts. When I mean not different, they feel different. And you can't tell them nothing. A lot of times you can't teach them nothing because they set y'all in their ways. Notice I said their ways. Sister Deborah, yeah, I'm an old hen, but you would never know it if you saw me in person. I ain't what I look like when you're looking at me on this devil platform. Oh no. People try to figure out how you can do that. What you mean? Who told me I couldn't? Now, Sister Debbie don't look like she look on this platform. Oh no. So this has been my whole living, hearing stories. Not stories, don't say story, facts like this here. And for that reason, that's why I can tell somebody something. But I think there's something wrong, very wrong. And I don't know, and I know y'all ain't gonna change it. I know he ain't changing it. He ain't changing his will. He ain't changing his ways. He spoke of today being worse than any time ever exists. I hold firm on what he says there. So I don't buckle up to your emotions and your feelings and the way you think that I should think and feel about your feelings and your feelings and your mood swing or your emotion. I don't give a rat's behind. When truth is spoke, that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. I would rather speak truth the rest of my living, even if I end up in the lake of fire. I'm not going to give you the time of day to think Sister Deborah going to buckle up and buckle down on your feelings and your emotions. On this page that Sister Deborah is on, I'm going to speak spirit and truth. I'm going to rest in what is given unto me from the Holy Spirit to speak. And I'm going to rest in his bosom. And you can go fly a kite because I'm going to be about my Father's business. And his business with me is to bring light out of the midst of darkness. And if he's telling people that you don't understand that if this is the worstest time ever exist on the face of the earth, why are y'all looking for something else? It's because you don't serve a creator. You don't trust him at his word. You trust yourself and your ways and the ways that things that you're doing and how you're doing it. You didn't put yourself so high. Fail to realize he's the most high, not you. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. And even if you didn't, I know that I did. Appreciate everybody in the live chat. And guess what? I will be back. And I say unto you, each and every last one of you all, shalom and shalom.